Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Today I'm gonna be showing y'all how we achieve this beautiful highlighted color. This is the Ashley unit on my website. One of my personal faves. This is an updated highlight tutorial. I have another highlight tutorial that I posted about a year ago. If you want to go check that one out, it got a lot of views, it did really well, and I saw that it helped a lot of people. This time, this highlight tutorial is more in-depth. It's a completely different style of highlight. It's not really streaking, it's highlighting. So if you want to know how to achieve this look here, beautiful, beautiful, keep watching because we have a great tutorial coming your way. So to achieve this look today, we are going to be using a wig that I made from my hair collection. This is a 16-inch wig. We used a 14-inch 5x5 HD lace closure with a 14-inch bundle and two 16-inch bundles at the bottom. And for our products that we will be using today, we're going to start with this board. This is a board that we use to help keep the foil straight. I got that from Sally's. I also got this foil from Sally's as well. And I really like this foil because this foil has a clear strip through the middle that allows you to be able to see the hair change color as it is going. So perfect. Got it from Sally's as well. We're going to need gloves to protect our hands, hair clips, Wella toner in the color T27 to tone it, as well as the developer in 20. And then to color the hair, you can either use 40 or 50 volume developer, and I use BW2 for this one. I have the bottle to mix everything up with, and I also have a bowl and a brush. As far as washing hair, I use BioSilk. I love that brand. We need a whisk to mix everything with, and we also have a comb. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and get ready to mix it together. This is what we're going to use to create the color. So we got 50 volume developer. Remember I said you can use 40 as well if you like. You don't have to use 50. 50 is just all that the hair store had when I went, but 40 and 50 will lift it the fastest. So if you are looking for faster results, I would go 40 or 50. If you have more time on your hands, I would go 30. I really want to go any less than that when it comes to mixing. Now, we are going to pour in some powder. We're not going to do too much. As you can see, it's not that much. It's enough to get you through at least maybe majority of the wig, but not too much, not too much. This is also a really thick wig that I'm using, so keep that in mind as well. When it comes to your products, you don't want to use too much because you don't want to waste it, but you can always add more if you don't have enough. And so we mix it with the whisk, and the goal is for it to not be thick, because when it's thick, it has way too much product that you're using. You don't want to use too much product and then have to keep mixing and keep adding, and now you're out of product. It's okay for it to be a little more loose. Not so much as a toothpaste consistency like it is here. It actually could be a little more loose than this, so I'm adding more developer to just loosen it up some more and help spread that product out more, because it's going to lift regardless, but you just want to make sure that you're not using too much product when you don't have to. So as you can see, it's becoming more consistent, and this is the type of mixture that we are going for. Even if you want it to be a little more loose than this, that's fine. Now watery, no, but this is perfect. So we're gonna get started with the highlight. We're gonna do it section by section. So what I do is I have to go track by track. So we're gonna start at the very bottom and section it off, and go ahead and clip up the top part. We have to go section by section in order for this to be achieved correctly. So track by track is the best way, so you won't have really big clumpy highlights, and you'll have more of the put together, small actual highlights going on. So we are about to get started. You want to make sure that you're always combing it out before you get started. Don't let the hair just be stuck together, because you want the best results. So now we're going to go through it. As you can see, we're kind of just using the rat tail, the tail end of the comb, and we are going in and out, in and out, in and out, picking out hair. So we're not going to use all of this hair, and this is how you achieve the highlights. In and out, in and out. Basically just threading through the hair with the end of the comb. And once you do that, you're going to pull it apart, and your results should be two different sections of hair. So that's what we're left with. And we put the foil on top of the board. We want it to be nice and, you know, as seamless as possible. So we try to keep it as straight as we can, which is why we're using the board. And it really does help. So now on this part, we're going to be teasing it. We're teasing it because we don't want that straight harsh line. Now you can create it without it being a straight harsh line across the top, but teasing it really does help, especially if this is your first time doing it or you're a beginner and learning how to color. And it helps you not have like that harsh straight across line. It actually blends into a much more natural ombre type of look instead of it being just a straight across, like this is where the color obviously starts type of line. So you want to make sure that you are saturating all the hair, getting in between, getting under, and just brushing it everywhere. As far as the end of the hair goes, you do not leave that out. You fold it up and you continue to color. Also, coloring in this direction and shading it in this direction helps with the blend process at the top. So it all works out, even if it does look a little messy. As long as you are getting the color on all of it and not leaving any spots to be, you know, black, you shouldn't see any black. Everything should be covered with the mixture. And as long as you have that, you're good to go. So thoroughly brushing through it with the brush, making sure that you're getting all of it, making sure that even the hair that's on the bottom that you cannot see is also being colored as well. It's very, very important. Very thorough brushes. You don't want it to be patchy. You don't want it to show up looking crazy. So after you've done that, you're going to go ahead and put the top foil on top, press it down on there pretty good so it can hold and so that heat can get locked up in there. And even if you don't have this type of foil, it's okay. This was my first time using this foil, but I will be purchasing again because it's very convenient to be able to see that in like a full scope like that. And now we're going to move on to the second track and we're going to do the same thing. All right, so here is a closer look at it. We're going to go in, out, in, out, in, out. As you can see, we're collecting hair at the top as we're doing it. And then you're going to pull it apart. Perfect. So you have an even amount of hair that is going to be left that's black and an even amount of hair that is left that is going to be blonde to create the perfect highlight effect. And we're going to go in and we're going to tease the top once again just to help create that seamless look at the top that's going to blend in and look very natural. And we're going to go in and color again, repeating the same steps from before. Making sure that you are completely saturating, which is another good reason why you should have a little bit of a looser mixture because it's easier to saturate. And when your mixture is too thick, you're going to be piling on a lot of product that you really don't have to. You just add some more cream developer to it, loosen it up some, and it'll spread out better. And remember, when you get to the end of it, don't leave the end out. Make sure you saturate it just as much. It may get a little messy too, so make sure that you have on some clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. Not saying that your clothes will get dirty, but just in case, make sure that you are working with something that is going to be able to cover your clothes good, or some clothes that you just don't mind getting stained, because once the bleach touches your clothes, it's going to stain your clothes more than likely. Also, if you are working, I do recommend working on a hardwood floor or a floor that, just in case you do drop some type of color or some type of bleach on it, that it won't stain the carpet or whatever you're working on. And if you are on carpet, please put down like garbage bags or something under you, some type of plastic or something to help catch any debris that may fly. And just make sure you're working in a clear space and area. All right. Now we're done with that section. We're going to move on to the next. As you can see, this section is already coloring. Now you can see how helpful it is to have this type of foil. Remember, I found it at Sally, so if you want to look for it, I believe that they will have some there for you as well. We're going to move on to the next section, section by section, which is track by track. We're not skipping any tracks. If you skip a track, it's going to mess up the whole look. So we're going to go ahead and pin this part up, and we're going to get started on this too. We're not going to be able to do the whole track at once. So as you can see, I'm breaking the tracks up into sections as well. It takes a lot of work and it takes time. So it is not a quick highlight tutorial at all. It's not a quick process at all. It definitely takes time. So we're going to go in and we're going to do in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, all the way through. And that is that section right there. We're gonna go ahead and separate it. And now we have it evenly distributed once again. Comb it out. And if you still feel like there could be more that could be colored, you can always go in and take out more if you don't feel like it's an even amount, because it's not going to be perfect every time. So sometimes you're going to have to go back in. Not all the time, but yes, it's okay to go back in and pick some of that hair out if you feel like you have too much that's in your area to be colored or too much that's not being colored. You can always start over and do it again. There's always room to perfect it. And then we go in after teasing it and we spread it again. Now, if you notice with the way that I am stroking the brush, I'm doing it in a way to where it is an up and down motion, especially when it comes to being up there at the top, because I really want it to be able to blend. So it's more like painting. Coloring is more of painting when you think of it. It's creating a beautiful canvas, creating a beautiful picture, a beautiful work of art. So you have to take your time with it, and you have to really look at what you're doing and make sure that you are putting your best effort into it. So when it comes to the stroke of the brush, doing the up and down motion really does create a better, more natural illusion to the color as well. So that's another helpful tip. Now, as you can see here, the hair is already starting to lighten up and get brighter. You do not want to burn your hair. You do not want to neglect the hair that is at the bottom. If it's already bright enough for you, you should go ahead and take that foil off. Not saying to go ahead and wash the wig right then, but go ahead and take the foil off of the wig on the parts where it's already pretty blonded, because you just don't want it to overdevelop or burn, or depending on whatever type of hair you have, you want to take the best care of it. And taking the foil off will definitely help slow down the process a bit instead of it being trapped in there with that heat. So make sure you're checking those foils underneath, because as you can see, we are not even halfway through the wig and we already have it pretty bright right here. So you just want to make sure that you are not burning it and you're taking good care of it. So if some foils have to come off, take them off. And you never know, you may have to use them later anyway. If you don't have enough foils, it'll help you use more foils for the future. So just a tip, do not burn your hair, ladies. If you see it's already lighting up and it's lighted up to the color that you want it to be, take the foil off and keep going. Don't wash the wig yet, because it's going to undo a lot of your work and make your process a lot longer. But go ahead and take those foils off if it's already bright enough in some sections. And you want to make sure that you are repeating this process throughout the entire wig. For track, don't skip a track. And even if you have to do 3 or 4 sections on one track, it's better than skipping around, because you don't want your color to come out blotchy or patchy. You want it to all blend effortlessly. So make sure that you are not skipping any hair whatsoever. Remember, as you are approaching the top, because we are at the top of the wig now, please be sure to check the bottom foils, check the hair at the bottom. Do not over process the hair that's at the bottom. Make sure that you are checking in and seeing how bright the hair is at the bottom. If it's hot, if it's heating up, if it's overheating, whatever, go ahead and take those foils off and keep going. Don't let that stop you, but also make sure you're checking on it. Now we are officially done with the actual coloring of the wig. All we have left is the closure, but this is how it is looking so far. It's already lifting, but we want to do the closure last because the closure will lift the fastest. So we're about to go ahead and get started on this closure. This is a 5x5 closure, so it is a little wider, but what I like to do is turn it to the side so I can show you guys exactly how big of a section it's gonna be. So I usually do about 1 inch apart, like 1 inch wide. So we're gonna part it straight across, just like a little bit shy of 1 inch. We don't want the section to be too big because we're gonna do the same process on the closure that we did on the rest of the hair. It's just all about getting every piece of it. So make sure that that part is straight across because you want it to be an even color. And of course, comb it through and everything, tease it and everything. And you can do the same exact color process on the closure. The thing about closures are they do color a bit quicker than the rest of the hair, and you don't want the top to come out brighter than the rest. So that's why we save the lace for last. And we are doing the same process here, in and out, separating it and just going inch by inch, not missing any pieces on the closure as well. So we did end up running out of foils, and I had to recycle some of the foils from the bottom, which is another great reason why it's important to check those foils at the bottom, because the hair at the bottom of the wig that you first did could already be done coloring, and the foil is just there, and you could be using that for another part of the wig. So definitely nothing wrong with recycling foils. If you had that question, it's nothing wrong with using the foil again from another part of the hair. If it's needed, use it, and make sure that you are coloring all of the hair as you have been doing the whole wig. Now we are doing the last section of the closure, and we are doing it just as we did the rest of the color on the wig, and we are finishing it up now, y'all. So excited to see the finished results. So yes, we have finished, girl. If you made it this far, we have done the whole wig, and this is how it looks afterwards. Just a good little after shot, so cute. And now we have to get to shampooing it. So it's very important when it comes to toning, do not shampoo it first. Simply just rinse all the product out. This is what it looks like before I toned it. I am just simply rinsing the bleach and everything out and getting ready to mix the toner together. So yeah, very beautiful color, but we need to tone it to get it all even and just a better shade of blonde. So we're gonna take our bottle and we're gonna take our Wella toner. Now it's very important when it comes to the ratio of how you're gonna do it. So we put 1 ounce in of the toner, and then we're gonna do 2 times that amount when it comes to the developer. For the developer, we always use 20 volume developer of the same brand of the Wella toner, and we're gonna mix it together. So as you can see, it is twice as much as what I put in because you want to be able to spread it out evenly. Mix it together real good in the bottle. And now we're going to distribute it all over the wig. And the way that I like to brush it on, I actually use the hair color brush that we have been using the whole time. Of course, rinse off, make sure all the product is out of it, and just brush it in there for a nice even distribute. Making sure that you are getting in every part of the hair that you can. It's very important to completely saturate it with the toner and to brush it through so it can be even. You should be able to use the entire amount of product that you have mixed up because we do not believe in wasting product around here, okay? So the more the merrier. It won't do any damage to your hair whatsoever. But yes, definitely use all the product if you can. So now, as we are brushing it through, we are going to remember to let it sit for 25 to 30 minutes. And we're going to come back and rinse it off. And after you rinse it off, that's when you use your shampoo and conditioner and go ahead and make sure all the product is out and let it air dry. And this is the finished results after letting it air dry. So beautiful. And now all we have to do is style it. I'm going to be curling it and styling it with the part down the middle. But this is how it should look after being air dry. I do not recommend blow drying it. Air dry is the way to go. And there she is, beautiful. This is the finished results. The Ashley unit highlights came out beautiful. If you want them to come out any brighter, of course, leave it on longer, whatever your hair can tolerate. But this is the perfect shade for me. As you can see, it came out beautifully. So thank y'all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really hope this video helped. And yeah, beautiful.